today we're talking about the career field of speech-language pathology, what it entails, and the various nuances of the career. This is a career field I particularly find interesting because it relates a lot to what I enjoy studying currently, and I can see myself working it in the very near future. So, what is a speech-language pathologist and what do they really do? Well, a speech-language pathologist, or an SLP, is a healthcare professional that helps deal with disorders and conditions of the mouth and language, and helps people communicate when they're unable or have difficulties with it. Some of the core responsibilities include rehabilitating individuals who have been in traumatic accidents or sustained injuries that are inhibiting their speech, and or working with a wide range of patients from infants to the elderly in communicating better on an interpersonal level, because oftentimes these professionals build deep-set relationships with their patients over time. A lot of time they work in rehabilitation centers, but that is just only one area they're found in. They're found in hospitals, schools, and various other health-related areas, and sometimes they can be contracted out and travel in between areas. Oftentimes they work with a wide range of other healthcare professionals, such as audiologists and other rehabilitation specialists, so they can work to create plans to better treat people who are struggling with communication. So, what does it take to become a speech-language pathologist? So, speech-language pathologists typically have specific prerequisites that are required, but these prerequisites don't have to be taken in a specific degree program such as a bachelor's in communication sciences and disorders. It can be taken outside of that course, though that bachelor's does help the transition in getting into an accredited graduate program. After an individual has met all the prerequisite requirements, they can then get into a graduate program in speech pathology and work towards obtaining their master's degree, along with working towards completing the 400 plus clinical hours that are required for completing the master's. After which they must attend a fellowship, which typically takes 36 weeks, 35 hours a week, which comes to about 1,260 hours. And after that, they're able to take the praxis exam, which is their overview of the material covered throughout their fellowship and their master's degree, and then they can obtain their certificate of clinical competence and receive their state license. So, depending on what area of the country you're in, some states might require to take continued education courses in the event of renewing a license, but this isn't always the case. However, these continued education units or CUs are rather easy to take and can be completed with a seminar or class or workshop in your related studies for the field. But even if it's not completely required for the renewal of the license, it can actually be pretty beneficial for individuals in the field to actually participate in these, because they can learn about new industry standards and trends that are happening in light of other speech-language pathologist research. So based on the research I did myself and analyzing where I'm at currently on my current career path, I put together a brief 5-year timeline to kind of get me in the right direction to become a speech-language pathologist. So, in May of 2019, I will be graduating with a bachelor's in health science, but after that, I'm just planning to re-register and for a second bachelor's degree in communication sciences and disorders with a minor in American Sign Language and Dutch Studies. Hopefully, I can find speech language pathologist and audiology organization in university exam, and potentially some internships with the help of some advisors. After a couple years, I should be ready to graduate with my second bachelor's degree, as long as I maintain my GPA, which is important for getting into any graduate school. And based on my projections, by May of 2022, I should be graduating with my CSD and starting a graduate program the following fall. And from there, I plan to continue working and studying, possibly working as a part-time ASL interpreter, because that's something I'm passionate about. And after about 2 years at my graduate degree, I plan on applying for a fellowship, getting into it, and going from there to eventually pass the practice exam, obtain my certificate of competence, and begin practicing in the state of Florida.